Hi and welcome to TMG Movie Reviews. I'm Rick.
I'm Andrew, and the film we'll be talking about today is A Fish Called Wanda from 1988, starring, as you can see there, the great Oscar-winning Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis and John Cleese and Michael Palin. This film was directed by a man called Charles Crichton, and he was quite famous for making Ealing comedies. You might have heard of the one he directed. It's called Lavender Hill Mob. And basically it came together because John Cleese wanted to write a film. I think he was the only Python at the time who hadn't had a really successful film solo, really, as in not a Python film like Life of Brian. And he wanted to make a film, just an Ealing sort of comedy, and Charles Crichton wanted to make a film where a man gets flattened by a steamroller. So they brought together this to make this sort of comedy, black comedy, romantic comedy, a bit of a hybrid. And story is, if you don't know, Jamie Lee Curtis is named Wanda. She's secretly dating Kevin Kline, who she tells people is her brother, and together with her actual boyfriend, they rob a jeweller's, steal several £1 million worth of diamonds. They set up Wanda's original boyfriend, an Englishman named George, and while he's in jail they plan to steal the diamonds and run off into the sunset. However, George has hidden the diamonds, so Wanda decides to use her powers of seduction to seduce George's lawyer, Archie, played by John Cleese, to reveal the location of the diamonds. However, they fall in love, and as in many of these stories, chaos ensues. So I love this film. I mean, I remember as a boy my mum and dad renting it on video and being quite cross actually at the time. I wasn't allowed to watch it with them. We'll talk about why. I probably shouldn't have been watching it with them a bit later on, but I think it's a brilliant film. To me, it's probably could well be one of the best comedies ever made, because unlike Hudson Hawk, it's a film where every scene matters. Every scene for some reason is there, not only for a laugh, but it advances the story in some way, it establishes a character. And Otto has a recurring scene, for instance like this one in the car, where he's a terrible driver. He's American, so he drives on the wrong side of the road in the UK, and he'll scream "asshole" out of the window, and it's really funny, and it just sort of sets up his character completely pompous, completely self-absorbed, a complete idiot. But it's sort of, that's a character development that you don't get in a lot of comedies. And so, but anyway, I've rambled on. Rick, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, his character is brilliant. I mean, he plays the American who absolutely hates England, and he thinks that the whole of the UK is driving on the wrong side of the road and he's driving on the right way, and he keeps it up throughout the whole movie, which is just hilarious.
It's brilliant. It's just a testament to how good he is that you never for a second don't believe in the character, don't believe that he's this complete lunatic. He's a psychopath. He's an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, and he's a character that's like, he thinks he's the cleverest person in the room, but he's constantly doing stupid things. Like, he's constantly foiling Jamie Lee Curtis's plans to get the diamonds, which is ultimately what he wants. And he's the only thorn in her side from stopping that most of the time. I just think, I think she plays the role really well. I think like she's a con artist, and she sort of uses her sexuality against every single man in the film.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone. But obviously there's that real connection with John Cleese's character. John Cleese, brilliant in everything he does. It's one of the funniest people. Yeah. He
wrote a perfect script. I mean, he said that he rewrote this script 13 times, and you can tell this is a script where the actors are on top form because the dialogue is spot on. Every line, every intonation means something, and it's superb dialogue, and that's why it's so funny. There's brilliant speeches. That Wanda's thing where she's talking to Otto and she says, "You're such an idiot, you know, don't call me stupid. You are stupid. You believe that the London Underground was a political movement and Aristotle was Belgian." And there's guys like that, and Otto's screaming his, obsession with not being called stupid, and good lord,
and she actually plays like she's funny in the role. She's good in the comedy, but she plays the more sort of straight person in the whole story. Because she's sort of the person who's trying to get these diamonds, and everything's just going wrong behind her, and all the other characters are acting ridiculous.
Yeah, because they're all so obsessed with her that they're so distracted by their love for her, they don't really understand what they're doing. Even Archie is straight-laced. He represents the everyman. He's the smart, the intelligent Englishman, very refined, but he completely loses his head over this beautiful woman that he falls in love with. And I think special mention we must give to Michael Palin. Oh,
he made the film for me. The subplot of him with the animal loving with Michael Palin with the stuttering,
killing the dogs.
yeah, and he's trying to take out this old lady because she's a witness, and He hates anything happening to animals. At the beginning of the film, we see that he nearly hits a dog, and he's in his estate over that. But yeah, I mean, he's just constantly killing these dogs, and just the sheer pain. You actually feel good for him when he manages to kill the old lady, which is wrong. So it's like that black comedy. But he's definitely like one of the main highlights of the whole film for me, because I just love that subplot.
It's just brilliant, and his stutter, because I read that Michael Palin's father stuttered, and he took the experience of his father stutter and brought this to Ken, who he's a very, he's a thief, he's an armed robber, but he's a decent guy, and he's madly in love with Wanda, and he's clearly, in awe of George, and he's killing these poor. He doesn't mean to do it, and that's what's brilliant. But
and he's so loyal to George. I mean, that's why, even though he's killing these dogs and he's hating himself for killing them, he won't let George down, and he keeps trying to take the witness out. It's brilliant.
It's absolutely spot on.
And the scene with the steamroller, where he's just like in the background, and you see him in the background slowly creeping up, and John Cleese's character is just trying to keep him distracted for that long.
That brilliant speech about Vietnam.
He was just trying anything and everything just to try and keep him distracted, and all you can see is this steamroller slowly. It's brilliant.
It's terrific, and then I won't reveal the ending, but there's a flaw involving that steamroller. But because the film is so funny, because the dialogue is so good, you just don't care. It doesn't matter. Whereas in a lesser film like Hudson Hawk, which I do like, I'm more inclined to see the flaws, but I can't see a flaw in Fish Called Wanda. It's just a perfectly funny comedy. There's so much other stuff I want to say, but I know we only have a small amount of time, so please, 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 of all the films we review, go and see it, because it's so good. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely 5 stars. I cannot praise it. It's my favourite British film of all time. It's probably my top 5 favourite comedies. Kevin Kline thoroughly deserved his Oscar. John Cleese and Michael Palin deserve their acting BAFTAs, and I'm glad that it was a big hit when it came out, that the critics received it so warmly. And so yeah, 5 stars from me, and please do see it. Yeah,
I mean, I like the film. I think obviously you do like it a bit more than I do, but I'm still going to give it 4 stars. I think it's a really good film. I think it's definitely worth watching. And I think if you haven't seen it, because I hadn't seen it for a long time, this isn't a film that I watched sort of years ago. I only seen this recently for the review. So, and I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. I'm glad, Rick. I would have been really disappointed, I think, if you hadn't liked it as much as you do. Because I do think it's a great comedy. Please do check out this and Angel are the ones so far that I've reviewed that I want people really to go out and see. I would love it if, come to our Facebook page, write some comments, tell me if you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it. If you like it, tell me why you like it, and we can talk about it. I'll talk about this film all day long. But thank you very much, and please, 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 again, see A Fish Called Wanda. It's great.
Thanks for watching. Bye.